Brown, and I'm the first grade teacher. Tonight we'll go over some main points about first grade. The first important thing to know is that first grade will have two teachers. I'll be teaching number corners and science to all the first grade students. And then Mr. Pavlik and I will split the class for social studies, math, and language arts instruction. So in the morning, the first graders will be broken into two classes. One will stay with me and the other one will go to Mr. Pavlik. Our daily schedule for the day, when students come in at 7:35, they have until 7:55 to eat breakfast. From 7:55 to 8:55, we switch classes for small group reading. From 8:55 to 11:05, we'll learn reading, writing, and math. At 11:05, we'll go to lunch. We'll be at lunch until 11:35, and then 11:35 to 11:55, we will go to recess. From 11:55 to 1:20, we'll have number corners, which is calendar math, and we will do science. After science, we will go to encore, and then from encore, we will go to dismissal to go home. Our encore schedule for this year. Day 1, we have art. Day 2, we have library. Day 3, we have music. And day 4, we have phys ed. Day 2 and day 4, you need to keep track of the most because on media days, you need your library books. And on PE days, you need to wear the correct gym shoes. This year in first grade, there will be homework. Homework reinforces the skills that we learned in school. Every week starting in September, we'll have spelling homework. The spelling homework will follow patterns of spelling that we're learning in class. Each night you need to check your students' homework planners for any sort of papers or homework that needs to be completed. You need to sign and return the homework folders every day. For language arts, the most homework you'll have is to read. You should read with your students every night. A large portion of our reading this year will be small group reading. We'll do about an hour of small group reading in the morning, and then we'll do other small group reading throughout the day. Social studies will be integrated into our reading. We're going to cover civics, geography, economics, and U.S. history this year in social studies. In writing, we'll focus on 4 main types of writing. We'll learn about narrative writing, which is short, small moment stories. We'll do series writings, which is you write several books with the same characters in them. Informational, which is where the students write a paper explaining a topic the best they can. And then opinion, where students tell me whether they like or do not like something. We will also write in a home message journal on Thursdays, and then once the students bring them home on Thursdays, you should read and respond to whatever they wrote you and send it back on Tuesdays. And I'll send out a letter explaining more about that when we start home message journals. We should start that close to September as well. Foundations is our spelling system this year. It corresponds with different patterns in spelling. The students will have a different spelling list each week, and in the back of their homework folders, there will be a list of activities that they can complete. Students will have from Monday to Friday to complete 3 activities. The activities will vary slightly month to month, and all homework must be turned in on Friday because Friday is going to be our spelling test. In science this year, we're going to learn about space systems, light waves, sound waves, structure, function, and information processing, which is basically engineering. We hope to visit the planetarium this year to go along with our space systems study. In math, this year, we're going to cover measurement and data, geometry, number and operations in base 10, and operations in algebraic thinking. The main points that we need to cover are we need to compare lengths of 3 objects, create graphs, create 2D and 3D shapes, divide circles and rectangles into halves, thirds, and quarters. Students need to count to 120 by the end of the year, starting at different points, and they need to understand place value, ones and tens. Students also need to use different addition and subtraction strategies to solve word problems. This year we're going to start math facts. It starts with addition and moves to division. Students need to master their addition and subtraction facts before they leave first grade. There are 14 levels of math facts that they need to cover, and we will practice them every single day in class. ScoopPad is a website that we had last year. Every student will have access to ScoopPad in the classroom. It's a great resource to find extra math and reading practice on. You can also access it from home if you have internet capabilities. Students will receive 4 report cards this year because there's 4 marking periods. Not all of the boxes on the report card will be checked at one time because we don't cover everything in the same marking period. By the end of the year, all the boxes on the report card should be checked. Mr. Pavlik and I will be using planbook.com to write our plans on. If at any time you want to see what we're learning in class, go to www.planbook.com. The teacher code for me is my last name Brown with a capital B, and the teacher code for Mr. Pavlik is Pavlik with a capital P. We will be sending home book orders throughout the year. You do not have to purchase anything, but if you do, we get classroom points to add to our classroom library. And if you do participate in the book club, make sure that you make your checks payable to Scholastic book clubs and not to Mr. Pavlik or I. If you haven't already, be sure that you join the PTA.